Hello. Thanks for tuning in to Ruby's channel today. I have a lot of good stuff in store for us today. Going to have a little bit of a tea chat. Going to show you how I make my tea when I'm on the road so I don't have to break out my burner and heat up my water. I have a really quick, fast, easy way. You can use a 240 Jackery, which is what I'm using for this, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And we're also going to learn some tips on safety for solo female travelers. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to have a great video for you today. Stay tuned. Okay, first of all, I want to show you this really cool little trick that you can use when you're on the road and you're just stopping at a truck stop to get something to refresh yourself, maybe a cup of coffee, maybe a cup of tea. Some people use the instant coffee when they're in a hurry. That would work as well, because basically all you're doing is heating up water. So this little tool here is what I use, and you just drop it into your cup like this. You want to make sure it has like a little hook on it. You want to make sure you have that hooked onto your mug, and you want to have most of the metal down inside the liquid. So before I started my tea, I had obviously it filled all the way up with water. So you put that in first, then you plug it in. Now I have an AC on my 240 Jackery, and I also have a 1000 Jackery, but for this, I only used my 240. Now it says it's a 300 watt apparatus, and I have a 240 Jackery, but this powers it. So I drained my Jackery down. I was at 90%, now I'm at 83%. So it does take a little bit off of your Jackery, but you know what? It heats it up. I'm talking within 2 minutes. You have bubbling hot tea. So the only key with this is you don't want to take it out of the liquid until you've unplugged it from the AC. Then you remove it from the liquid. So there are a few tricks with it, but it's great, and you can heat up your tea really fast on the road. I have dandelion chai that I'm having here today. You guys know I love that tea. In the evening when you're getting ready for bed, you could do some sleepy time extra tea. It'll give you a little bit of chamomile and some spearmint, and it'll help you to sleep good. But I really like a cup of tea when I'm traveling. When I'm going from the north to the south, I have everything in my van, obviously. I'm pulling into a rest area to park for the night. To go down to Florida, I usually stop at 4 places, and they're usually just rest areas. I usually don't, do a campground. I just stop at a rest area or a Cracker Barrel or a Walmart. And what I'll do is I'm self-contained. So all my reflectics are on my windows, and I don't want to go out of the van unless I want to go into Walmart and maybe do some shopping or whatever. But basically, I'm keeping everything in the van. So that's why this little method is so nice, because you're not getting out a butane stove where you have to crack windows for it or anything like that. So anyway, guys, that's my first little tip. Salute. It's a great way when you're on the road to heat up your tea, or even some water for coffee or whatever, whenever you want to heat anything up. Now I wouldn't put it into like soup or anything. Only use like clear liquids for this. I would not recommend using this for any kind of soups or anything else. I have another thing that I use for that. Okay, so I have my little thing that I use when I'm on the road. It's a little container. It's pretty cool. Has a lid. Inside you'll find a little container that you could put, I don't know, you could put anything in there you want to. If you're making a dressing for a salad or something, or a hot dressing, you could put that in there. But you have 2 ways of powering it. You could power it with an electrical cord, or this is the one I usually use, you can power it with a DC cord. Now what you do is you just put your food in here, okay, to heat up, chili or whatever you want to use, and then you plug it in either electrical into your Jackery, or you can plug it in while you're driving to your car. I usually use this one, and it says in here it's called the electric Lunchbox. It says here that it takes about 25 minutes. It depends on the amount of rice, vegetables, and stuff that you have in there. Well, what's nice about this is while you're driving, while you're commuting to your next stop, you have your food, you put it in here. It's in your fridge in the back of your van or wherever you have your fridge. You dump it in here. I usually freeze stuff in containers and put it in my fridge. And while I'm traveling, I have it. and you just put it in here, you plug it in, you just drive, you know, for your next, I usually only drive for 4 hours at a time. You get to your next destination, and voila, your lunch is all heated up for you, and you didn't do anything. You know, you didn't have to get out your butane stove. And then on the top of the lid, it even has a little spoon in here. And this is a little moisture release on the top too, a little button that releases moisture. So it has a little handle, so you just can put everything in here. It stores really nicely. Snaps. And over here is your different, where you plug in, right here, all your different things that this is for your AC, and this is for your 12 volt. So that just pops on there. So isn't that nice? So between this and this little thing for your hot water, you can travel on the road, you know, do your long trips, and you're in great shape. I keep this in my van. Have it in here all the time. And I keep this in my van. And these are the things that I use when I'm on the road. Now, when I get to my destination and I start to set up my camp, obviously I got my stove out now. I don't have to use that stuff unless it's the evening and I'm getting ready for bed and I want to make a quick cup of tea. Because usually I keep my butane stove out in my little canopy where I cook at. So it's nice to have that. And then of course I have my coffee pot for coffee in the morning. But that's just some tips I wanted to give you guys before we get started with the video. Okay, so obviously the main reason for this video is to help the solo female travelers to feel more comfortable, so you don't have to feel scared or anxious or overwhelmed in any way when you're traveling. As long as you take precautionary measures and you make sure that you're keeping your head on a swivel, you know, you're always paying attention, because you know, most of the time, guys, and I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but people that rob other people tend to want to rob a victim that looks like they're easy to rob, okay? Defenseless, vulnerable. So if you have your head on a swivel and you're always looking around and you don't have your head down looking at the ground all the time, you're the person that they probably won't attack because they know that you're paying attention. The people that they target, that they stalk, and that they actually watch for a while are the ones that are carefree and don't even know what's going on. And they can tell those people just by your body language. So if you have your head up, you're walking straight, you're looking around, you're paying attention, you're aware of your surroundings, they see that. So that's the first thing, is walk with intention. Walk as if you're aware, that you're not totally aloof. You know, you don't have your head down looking at the ground, moseying along, scuffling your feet. No, you want to walk with purpose and you want to walk with strength. And if you show that 9 times out of 10, that particular individual that's looking for a victim will not choose you, because you're going to look more like you know what's going on. But most of the time when I take walks, either in the woods or even if I'm just coming from Walmart, even in the daytime, I carry this in my hand because I have a key on it, and you can use that as a weapon as well. You poke someone in the eye with that key. And then of course I have my pepper spray. Now pepper spray isn't as strong as bear spray, but this is nice because you can hold it in your hand like this. It even has little grooves for your fingers. You can hold it in your hand. And this little puppy works because I sprayed a pit bull with this. I was showing houses one day and this pit bull was coming at us. I mean, he was going to bite us and I got him. And boy, did that owner of that dog get mad at me for that. But you know what? He should have had control of his dog, especially if he knows it attacks people. So anyway, I shot this at it and it ran and screamed and cried out in pain. I mean, it was hurting. So this really works. Now you want to test it once in a while to make sure you still have pepper spray in there, because they do get empty if you're using it. And then you want to order another one. I think I paid 15 bucks for it on Amazon. It's an awesome little weapon. Mine is from S-A-B-R-E, Sabra. That's who it's by. And it has an on and an off, so you can put it in off position so that you don't accidentally, like right now it's in off position, but I always have it in on position, always. always, because I don't want to have to take the time to say, oh, it's not on. You don't have time to do that when you're getting attacked by somebody. So that's the first thing. And then, of course, you have bear spray. Now, this is what I use when I go camping and when I'm in the woods and I'm taking hikes. I have a what are these little things? I always forget what these things are called. One of these things. One of these doojigs. And I hang it on my belt loop or on my, usually I have a fanny pack and I hang it on there by this. And if I need it, it's ready to go. So that's the other thing. Now this is for bears, any kind of critter that might be running at you. It says here it has a range of 30 feet. And I got this off Amazon as well. And you could use it on a dog that's trying to attack you. So those are my first two go-to defense mechanisms that I use in a van while I'm camping, okay? And then, of course, lighting. When I'm outside my van, I'm getting in my van, I have this light. It's called an IntelliLight. Now, right now it's on, but you can't see because it's daytime. So you could set it to on and you could set it to auto. They're called IntelliLights. Auto means it only comes on when there's motion. So I have these right at the front of my van. So when I get in my van at night, these come on. So it lights up my feet and gives me a feeling of security so I don't trip when I'm getting in the van. You can also put these on the side of your van, like just put 3 of them on the side of your van, and whenever anything comes near your van, they will light up. And trust me, if someone's coming near your van and lights light up, they're not going to stick around. They're going to go because they know you have security. This is not security, but it makes them think you have security. So this is what I use when I'm camping by myself outside of my van. They're called IntelliLights. You get like 6 in a pack. I did do a review on these in one of my previous videos, and I'll link that video to the bottom of this one. But these are awesome. I even put one back here at the back of my van, so if I get back there at night to get a snack out of my refrigerator, it comes on auto. I have one down on the side where my jackery stays, so that when I'm down there at night, just so I can see what I'm doing. I also have one in with my coffee area in the morning, because it's darker in the morning when you wake up, so that it comes on when I go to get my coffee out of my bin. So you can put them anywhere. They're magnetic, or you could just use Velcro and stick them somewhere. So that's the other key to staying safe, is having some sort of automatic lighting that comes on when someone gets near your vehicle, okay? Now next, last but not least, this weapon here, right here, guys, this is called a K-bar knife, okay? This knife can be used for many things. As you can see, it's got quite a blade on it, okay? That puppy's gonna do some damage. You don't wanna whip out something like this unless you really have to. But I use it, you know, for when I'm chopping wood, you know, or I'm out in the forest, you know, for whatever reason. But I do keep this right beside my bed at night. So, God forbid, if somebody would come into my van, I'm taking them out, you know. I'm not going to mess around, and I know that sounds pretty vicious, but, I mean, they're gonna come under an attack, and they're not going to like it. So it has this nice scabbard or whatever, and then it has you could also hang this on your belt loop when you're traveling in the woods, because it does have a loop on it. So you can hang that off your hip as well. But it's a nice thing to have. And guys, I don't carry a gun because the gun laws are different in every state. I'm not against it, but I don't carry one only because I don't want to have to deal with the law regarding the gun laws when you go from state to state. So that's my most wicked weapon. The other thing you have, obviously, that people just don't take into account is you have common sense. You have that inner gut feeling when you pull up next to a situation and you know it don't feel right, or there's someone that's kind of watching you a lot, maybe they're staring at you a lot, you pull out of there. You get the keys back in the ignition and you drive the heck away. That's your main weapon defense against, you know, evil, is just you. It's just that feeling that women have, that women's instinct, and we can feel when things don't seem right. So listen to that little inner voice, move yourself out of the situation quickly. Don't think, oh, well, this is such a great spot, you know. No, Don't do that. Your life is worth more than having a really great spot, okay? So you get the heck out of Dallas and you go and you find a better spot. So your intuition and your instinct is your first weapon against that. And also the way you carry yourself when you're out in the public, around the campground, walking through the campground. Maybe you're out in town, walking around town, doing some shopping, whether you're at the grocery store, wherever you're at. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be camping. You could just be doing everyday life. Keep your head on a swivel, always looking around. And the police will tell you that when you take these self-defense courses, that's the first thing they teach you is awareness, self-awareness. To be instinctually self-aware, to be able to right away analyze your surroundings and know if you're in a situation that's hazardous to you in any way. The other key is when you pull up, you know, say you're coming to, I know this sounds pretty weird, but let's just say you're out running or taking a walk with your dog. And you're in an area in a campground where there's a lot of speed bumps and people are coming up to speed bumps or stopping. If there's a van that's coming up to one of those speed bumps and they're sitting there and you're walking towards that van to go past that, walking with your dog, you hang back. You wait until that van goes through that speed bump or through that stop sign. You do not walk right beside that van because all they got to do is open that door and pull you in. And a lot of times that's what they do. So you need to be smarter and you need to be aware of what's going on around you. You need to wait back a little bit till that van pulls out, and the same thing is true in a parking lot. Do not park beside a van. Don't do it. I mean, you could be getting your keys to put in your car, to get into your vehicle, and they could just grab you and pull you right into that van and drive away. Nobody would ever know you're missing because the van blocks you from people seeing what's going on. Any security cameras, you're blocked. Nobody can see you. So what you want to do is park in an open area under a street light, close to the door. If it's in the evening that you know you're going to come out a little later and it might be towards evening, you want to have your spray in your hand when you come out, and you also want to have your vehicle parked under a street light in that parking lot as close to the door as possible. And you don't want to be off by yourself. You want to make sure you're close to where all the activity is, but try not to pull up right beside of a van, you know, when you first pull in. And if you come to your vehicle and you see a van parked beside your car, don't get in your vehicle. You go back into where you were and you tell security. You tell security that there's a van beside your car and you want someone to walk you to your car. Don't be afraid to do that, guys. It's all good. You're taking care of yourself, and your kids need you to take care of yourself because they want you to come back from that trip or that little caravan that you're on. So those are just some of my ideas. The basic things that you want to do though, and I'm sure you guys have all heard this before, I carry 2 camping chairs. I set 2 up so it looks like I have someone with me. I have a pair of men's boots, my son's mountain boots. I take those with me and I put them right outside my van door so they see a pair of men's boots outside of my van. That's another thing you could do, is just carry a pair of boots. They don't take up a lot of room. Stick them somewhere in your van. I put mine up in my toolie and I get them out, and that's one of my props that I put, just like you put your little rug down. I put those men's boots down, and I put my 2 camping chairs up. And when you're a solo female traveler, they think that you have someone, a man, traveling with you. And the main thing to do, guys, is to trigger that, so you don't trigger that guy to come in, a guy or a woman, it could be a woman, to come and victimize you. But the best weapon you have in your whole vehicle is Ted, because Ted is a panic barker. He will bark at any sounds and any noises that he hears outside. As you can see, his ears are up. He's hearing some activity. Sometimes he'll bark. It just depends, but he's the best weapon you have. And I forgot to show you guys my knife. I use this when I go out on the camp trails. It's a really sharp knife. It also has a little flint thing to start fires with. It has a razor on it to cut ropes with and ties with. It has a glass breaker. I got this from Amazon, and it's a sharp knife. I mean, this thing, you could see that blade. It's a sharp knife. It'll cut pretty much anything, and it has like a little saw on the blade, so you could actually saw wood with it. So yeah, guys, this guy here that you're looking at, he's my #1 weapon. He might look innocent, but trust me, his teeth are like razors. Oh yeah, anybody that would try to hurt me, he would rip them. he would bite them. So that's the best thing to have, is a little doggy or some sort of an alert that something's going wrong and something's coming near your van. That's your next defense, because even if it's a small dog like I have, when they hear noise, they bark, and they're not going to break into a van that has a dog in it. They're going to be more inclined to stay away from that vehicle. So as soon as that dog starts to go off, they're going to be like, I'm out of here. Then you got your little lights that come on. You got all these little, you know, indicators that it's not a good place, not a good van to rob. The other thing is you could have a whistle. My son has lifeguard whistles because he was a lifeguard at Bethany Beach for years. So I have one of his lifeguard whistles, and I don't have it here with me now, but I usually do travel with it when I'm traveling. And a whistle is another awesome thing to have. The horn on your car, obviously you could blow the horn to scare them away. Whatever you got to do. When I was in Florida the last time, I had to lay on my horn because I had people pounding on the side of my van. I did a video on it 2 years ago, and all I did was beat my horn and they ran away. So yeah, if it's just a bunch of youths, you know, young people trying to create mischief, they usually don't want to harm you. They just want to harass you and make you feel afraid. So beeping that horn scares them away, or turning, you know, a light on, your headlights on, or whatever, you know, anything that gets them to know that they're now exposed. They will definitely run away. The last thing you don't want to get out of your vehicle, okay? That is a definite no-no. Keep your doors locked. Now, if they're banging on the window trying to break the glass, that's when you're driving. That's when you're getting in the vehicle, you're getting behind the driver's steering wheel, and you're driving away. So guys, it's okay to travel alone. I do it all the time. I strongly recommend you do it. But if you do it safely and responsibly. And the only person that cares more about your safety is you. So by all means, take this video, listen to it, and you can use whatever you want. You might have a little handgun. You might have a little taser. Some people carry tasers. You might have all kinds of stuff. Some people, you know, I mean, hey, even a flashlight in somebody's eyes is effective. I have this flashlight. I'm going to show it to you guys. It's awesome little weapon. Look at this thing. This flashlight is solar powered, first of all. So see how it is when you shine it? It's really bright. You could shine that in somebody's eyes and that would blind them. It has an SOS on it. So you can have this if you're out along the road and you're stuck along the road somewhere. And it also has this ability. See that? This whole thing will light up like that, and it'll go red. Do you see that? Red blinking light. That's another feature of it, but the most awesome feature of it is this little pointy glass breaker here, okay? Now I want to tell you what, that's a weapon. Look how pointy that thing is. That'll break glass, but that'll also break someone's head open, okay? So if someone's messing with you guys, keep your little flashlight close by. It has a little handle thing on it. I use it when I go camping. I always take this with me, always, because this is a weapon, okay? This is a weapon, and I can't help but feel like they designed it like a weapon. What's nice about it is solar powered, but you also have the ability to do USB with it. And this opens up here. There's a compass on the end, and that's where you plug in to charge it. And that's a compass on the end. So if you're in the forest or whatever, you'll know where you're at. This is a magnet, so you can put it on your car, like just put it right on your car. And this thing here is just a little hook that you can hang it on something. But it's an awesome little solar powered flashlight. I got this from Amazon. I'll try to find it, and if they still have them, I'll put the link below. But this is a really heavy object. So when you start pounding somebody with this, buddy, even if you see their hand coming and you crack them with it, let me tell you, I think it's more effective than this big old thing. I think this thing's even better. So I don't know what you guys have that you use, but those are my ideas. And let me tell you what, you also have a voice. You could scream, help me, help, whatever you got to do to get somebody to come out there. Start screaming your head off. You know, beep your horn, do what you got to do, knock them in the head. You know, women are very creative. We can find all kinds of ways to take down our predators. We're not wussies, okay? So yeah, guys, Cheers, salute, stay safe. If you're out on the road, just remember that other people are out on the road too. And not all of them are friendly. There are some that are not friendly. Most people are, guys. I don't mean to sound like a Debbie Downer. I mean, everybody I've met camping and traveling has been wonderful. I might have had 2 incidents that proved to be kind of scary to me. And the one was really, really scary when they were banging on my van in Florida. That was really, really scary. But I had another time where I was being followed and stalked, you know, for like 2 days. That was scary. The other thing, oh, I forgot to mention, your GPS on your phone. You have a thing on your phone that people can find you, but they also sell these GPS locators, but they're expensive. They're like $300, but they send a signal out. As soon as you press the emergency button on them, they're like $300, but they send a signal out to the local, you know, police or state police so that they know you're in trouble and they know right where you're at, and they'll send out police to come and help you. But your phone also has a locator on it, so that you can send your kids your coordinates as soon as you get to your campsite. And you can also have a deal that you're going to call and talk to each other at least twice a day, and set up the times you're going to talk so you don't miss each other. And also you can send them your coordinates, but your phone does have a locator on it. So I hope you guys had a great time during this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we're going to have lots more in the future here. But right now I'm getting ready to schedule a little trip. I'm going to be going, I think I'm going to go to an oceanside campsite. I think that's what I'm going to do. November is a little colder, but it is so beautiful there in November because there's nobody there. So I think that's what we're going to do in this November. I'm going to go online and try to find a really nice campsite that we can stay at. My son's supposed to go with me, so I'm hoping he still does. So I'll see you guys down the road. I hope you had a good time. God bless you, and take it easy. Stay safe.